Hello and welcome to this new video tutorial here on Virtual Music Tutorials. My name is Lars Eichstaedt, and in this video we're going to discover what Keyswitch patches are that you find in Symphonic Orchestra by East West Quantum Leap. So very quickly, what is Virtual Music Tutorials for everyone who is new? On Virtual Music Tutorials you will find videos about virtual music creation, so general discussions about virtual music, and several tutorial videos or lots of tutorial videos about the use of some sound libraries, what you can do to make them sound realistic. Yes, and today this is another tutorial about Symphonic Orchestra by East West Quantum Leap. Yes, Keyswitch patches. What actually are Keyswitch patches? Well, Keyswitch patches are very great when you're in the composition phase. Because in the beginning, when you start composing, you often, depends, you don't really know every time which articulations you will need for your composition. So best way to start then composing is loading the Keyswitch patches of the different instrument groups and instruments, and then you can start composing using every available articulations and effects, and then later on you can load in the articulations you need and then can save some computer power again. So first of all, let's take a look how to find Keyswitch patches in Symphonic Orchestra. They are in a folder. So we take now a violas Keyswitch patch. So we go to gold instruments, gold strings. There are the violas. There we have a folder named 5 Keyswitch. You click on it, and then you have two options. We'll use the master one for a specific reason. I'll show you in a minute, because it's easier to explain the differences between the two when you see this patch. So let's load it in with a double click. Wait for it to load. And there we are. Okay, so let's switch into the player view and see what we now have. Wow! We can see various things. First of all, when we take a look at the articulations window, we can see there are quite a lot of articulations, and they have some numbers and letters in front. And if you take a closer look, we can see C0, C sharp 0, D0, D sharp, yeah, it's sharp, yeah. So these are the names of specific keys on the piano, and you see that here you have a group of keys which are blue colored or blue tinted. So these are special keys now, because all the articulations you can see here are mapped onto all of these keys. So when I take a look now at the C0, that is this C here, we have the sustain articulation. So we can click and have a quick listen. Definitely sustain. Okay, then we can see we have some other articulations. For example, is an articulation or a patch where the articulation of sustained and legato notes are put together, and a script determines when to play legato notes and when to sounds and when to play the sustained sounds. So when we click on the C sharp 0 and then play, we have now this articulation. A little bit more to hear really the difference. Yeah, we will use C sharp 1 marcato short. So this here is C sharp 1. And when we now listen, we have marcato. So you might already notice, yeah, the potential of these patches. But how you actually use it in a composition? Well, you have to clever use these keys here to the left. And how to do this, I'll show you right now, because of course I made a little project. So let's close this. Later on we can check back. There we go, wait. Oh, right. So I have little line here composed, nothing fancy really. We'll take a quick look, listen to it, and then I'll show you how I done it. So you see, we have multiple articulations playing here, but only one MIDI track. So how I did that? Well, it's actually very simple. I just used the piano keys. So what I did was the following. Let's go into the MIDI editor and take a look what we have here. Let's do a little bit down. And then you might notice we have these notes here. If you now take a look at C0, C1, these notes here are the Keyswitch notes. So here I can also, let's click on this, what comes? We have this, let's see here, we have something, yeah, that is staccato. So what I then did is I composed this thing first with the basic sustain sound, just to get to know the melody and just to see what I want. And then I went in, checked back which articulations have which key, and then I typed in this D sharp here at the start, and I know I wanted it to until here. Here I wanted the sustain articulation, so what I did was I put in a C sharp 0 little note a little bit before these notes started. So what then happened, that all of that, the mapping changed, so that now with this, at this point, the sustain articulation was loaded. Play till here, then I used the E0 for tremolo, F0 for the trill, and then the C sharp 0 again for this sustain, and then this one, that is the D1 for the pizzicato sound. And actually I can't remember the key switches every time, and yeah, maybe if you now take a look now, maybe you now know, or you see why these patches are named key switches, because you switch with a piano key between different articulations. And to check back which articulations you have to use, we just take a look at the instrument again. Well, where is it? Oh, there. There we are. Right. Okay. So then, you just compose, and then you just have to look, where is my articulation that I need. So, for example, we could change a little bit. Let's see the MIDI editor, right there. And let's say, for example, we want, instead of a sustain sound here, we want a tremolo sound, or, yes, tremolo. So, then I looked, okay, where is tremolo? There it is, E0. So, I know, at this point, I want this note to be played tremolo, so I went in and put in a note right there, like so. It's enough like this, so that at this point the articulation switches to tremolo, and then this note will get the sound of tremolo. And here maybe a sustain again, so I paint in a note right here. So at this point it switches back to sustain again, and that's how you do it. So let's listen. And here you can also see how when the key switches are changing, we can listen to this little thing again, and now we can take a look at these key switches here, or at these keys when they are pressed. And of course, you can use the key switch patches for live playing. It's a little bit difficult at the start, because you have to press these keys a little bit before you actually play the new articulation. So that's a little bit yeah, difficult sometimes. Well, yeah, that's how you work with Keyswitch patches. But there is one, or you remember when we go back into the browser view, that we have another one called Elements. So very quickly, let's load it in to the other and take a look at the difference. Yeah, wait for it to load. There we are. So what we might notice when we now take a look at the Elements patch here, we can see there are no blue keys anymore instead of here the master. So this patch has also all of the available articulations, but to access it a little bit different. When we go into player view, we can now see again, we have now all of the articulations that we had again. Exact same thing, but now we load it differently. Now we use our these two check boxes here. So now I have sustain. When I now want tremolo, I go then in and say load to load it in. Okay. So he doesn't want to load this one in. Maybe he wants the other one. No? Okay. Yes, that's very bad, but I think you quite get the point, what I actually mean. You just load it with load, and then you can play it. But actually I didn't use this Elements patch because I didn't find it very useful. I'm using the key switches, using the piano keys. So these are the master ones. There I can switch quickly between the different articulations. Yes, so that's actually all about Keyswitch patches. You see, it's not that complicated. It's very easy, and it's a great way to improvise and get the sounds, get the mood of your composition and the melodies. Yes. So, thank you for watching this video, little quick one today. Yeah, if you liked it, subscribe to the channel and check out the other videos that are available there. See you next time, hopefully, and have a nice day and have fun composing.